Hi everyone, it's Jane here today, and if it's your first time here, then welcome to Cold Showers Are Good For You. I am really excited to be here today because it's been a very long time since I've done a video, and there's nothing that freaks me out quite so much as video, so I guess that's the point, right? So that's why I'm here today. I'm going to get uncomfortable and I'm going to try and give you a progress report on my goals for 2018, and this one is for January. Let's get started. When I did my goals, I split them up into 4 different categories, and those categories were work, play, love, and health. So I'm going to start in the area of work. The first thing I wanted to achieve was to do 12 what I call prototype interviews. It's something that came from the book that I mentioned in my blog post, which is Designing Your Life, where I'm going to try and interview 12 people, one per month, from the area of sustainability, because I want to change my career, and I'm kind of exploring that area. So I wanted to try and meet as many people and research that field as much as I can. Unfortunately, I haven't done any of those during January, but as you'll see as I go through, I have actually been sort of focusing my time and my energy on other areas. So the second thing within work that I wanted to achieve is to create a side hustle. So something that I can do on the side, not necessarily my main job, where I might create my own business, something that I can try and earn $1,000 a month from by the end of the year. So again, I haven't actually made any progress on that, but I did manage to go along to see Chris Guillebeau in Sydney recently, and he has written this little book, which I think might come in handy. So I'm going to start reading that, and hopefully that'll propel me along in that area. The third goal that I set for myself for the work category was to blog more. So I made a target of doing 12 blog posts for the year, one per month, and I'm happy to say that I have actually made progress in this area. Woohoo! So you'll see that I did a blog post for January, which is around my goals, and also I'm feeling quite excited about the cold showers thing because I've got a few ideas for what I want to blog about, some comfort zone challenges that I want to do, and I'm here doing this video. The next category that I set my goals for is around play. Again, 3 goals. First one is to sign up for a new class or course, do something new and fun each term. And I can say that I've made a tick on that side of things because I have signed up for a jazz ballet class, which has been really fun so far. I'm not very good at it, but that's not the point. It's just to move my body, have fun, and incidentally I've actually found that it's quite nice to meet more people around the area and get more involved in the Manly community. So the second thing was to read 12 non-fiction books and also to read 12 fiction books for the year, and I don't anticipate that it's going to be one of each from for every month, but I happened to read 2 books during January, and they did both happen to be non-fiction, which is strange because I normally love fiction rather than non-fiction, but one of the ones I read was this one, which I don't really want to say out loud, but it's actually really good. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. I kind of was a bit dubious when I first read it, and I really quite enjoyed his different take on the whole self-help genre. And I think the biggest thing that I got from it was the idea that about taking personal responsibility for yourself and your life and that kind of thing, and the delineation that he makes between fault and responsibility. Just because something is not your fault doesn't necessarily mean that it's not your responsibility. So there's other lots of little nuggets of goodness in there, so I do recommend reading that one. The other one that I read was Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, which I also loved as well, because I really want to try and flex my creativity muscle a bit more this year. And I don't have a copy of that here because I read it on, listened to it on Audible, which I've been loving at the moment. So the third thing that I wanted to do for the area of play, to spend one day of each month just going to take photos just for the fun of it. And unfortunately I haven't actually done that, but I do want to try and take more photos because I haven't even picked up my camera during January. Something for improvement, I guess. So now on the area of love. So love in this context is really talking about, it can be romantic love, but it can also be about your family and about your friends and that kind of thing. And I chose, when I was doing my 3 goals, to spread those out. So the first goal was to focus a bit more on spending time with Garrett, my husband, and the idea that we have at least one date per month, so that we get a lot more quality time together, which has been quite difficult with having a baby last year. So we actually had 2 dates. Woohoo! Go us. So that's been really good, and I'm quite happy about that side of things because one of my love languages is quality time. So it does really help me feel much more loved and secure in my relationship when we spend a lot of time together. So the next thing within that was to look at my phone less and to be more present with Sophie and Leon. And I mean, I actually think this is probably not a very good goal because it's not very measurable, but intuitively I feel like I need a little bit more improvement in that area. I have been trying to put my phone down a little bit more, and but during January I probably did spend a lot more time on my phone in front of them than what I would like to. So, and the other goal was to say yes to at least one social event with friends each month, which, like, reflecting on it now, seems like not a lot just once a month, and during January I've been out lots of times this month. So I think that was more a reflection of how difficult it was to get out of the house last year, and how it was really something, being sociable and connecting with my friends and that kind of thing is actually something that's really important to me. So it's been good to come back to that. So yeah, that's how I have fared in the love category. And the final category is, I sound like I'm presenting the Oscars. The final category is health. And actually I really focused on health this month, and I've hit all my goals for this month. So I'm for January. So I'm feeling pretty positive about that. The first one was to try and meditate for 365 days of the year. And even though I actually haven't meditated for the whole of January, I have only missed 2 days. So I kind of feel like the 365 days is a bit of a stretch target, but it has actually encouraged me to try and sit down every day whenever I remember and try and incorporate it into my routine as well. So I feel really positive about sort of hitting that, not quite hitting, but almost hitting that target for the month of January. And the second one was to have a green smoothie every day, and for 30 days. It was just, I guess, a bit of a challenge for January, and I did that. I have had one every single day. And the final one is to not weigh myself for the whole of the year. So I'm pleased to say that I've done that for January. I haven't weighed myself, and in case you're wondering, that's just really about the idea of not obsessing over my weight and focusing on health, but accepting my body the way it is and not worrying about a silly number on a scale. Alright guys, so that is my January progress report. I hope you enjoyed this video. I look forward to seeing you next month. Bye!